pod where we're going to talk about
our thoughts, stories, and hot takes, but do it all
respectfully, of course.
So we kind of lied last time. We said, oh, you're not going to see us for a while, but we had to squeeze in one more episode before our break.
We are back, but only once. These are our good friends, Taylor and Elena. Near and dear to our hearts.
Yes.
You can tell they're super excited to be on the podcast.
They
are. This is going to be a silly little episode because we can't get 2 seconds without laughing.
No.
So it's just going to be a little chaotic,
This
a little
is what
fun.
happens when 4 best friends sit down in front of the camera.
It actually took us so many tries just to get to this point.
Tries. But yes, you have heard a lot about Taylor specifically.
Yes.
But Elena, we've tossed in there.
Yes.
And so these are the faces to the names.
Alright, so now we're going to do a fun little segment of like icebreaker questions. Obviously, we know a bit about each other, but there are even some things we don't know, and for sure things you don't know. And it's just a fun little like, the awkward icebreakers that when you get in a group of new people and they start asking you things and you're like, I don't even know this about myself. So we're going to hit them with a couple of these, and we'll answer for fun just as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to hit them with the first question being, what is like a fun fact about yourself?
So my fun fact is that the first time I ever got my eyes checked at like a doctor's appointment, I covered up my right eye and the only thing I could see was the big E. So I had to wear an eye patch on my right eye. It was like a sticky eye patch that went like this to strengthen my left eye.
For how long?
I mean, it was a few hours a day, but I don't know how long I had, like how many years.
Just like a cute
it
little
was-
How many years?
Yeah.
Years.
Was that actually for years?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like 2 months.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't like every day, but there was one time I went out in public, actually a few times, but one time I went to Walmart with my mom, and this little girl was like, Mom, a pirate! And I felt so bad about myself.
Okay, I was going to say, as a kid, were you like, did you think it was cool to have an eye patch, or were you embarrassed? You were embarrassed?
I was.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
It's okay.
Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing
Of
that with us.
Yes.
That's really brave. Really brave.
Yes.
Thank you. My fun fact is that while I am only 21 years old, I act like your 80-year-old grandma. I like to bake, do grandma crafts, specifically embroidering, things like that. I also have aching joints. So I also do teach exercise for old grandmas, and sometimes their joints will make noise, and then people are like, oh, who is that? And it's literally me. So
They actually asked who that was?
Yes, they do.
What happened was that trembling?
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing.
I'll just be there doing like arm circles, something, and my shoulder will just. Carol, was that in there? Like that was me. Thank you.
That's funny. What's your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I was in a music video. If you are familiar with the band Tiger Lily, I was a dancer in one of their videos. Yeah.
I feel like when you were a dancer in one of their videos, they weren't very big.
No,
but now
they've
they're
gotten
like
really big.
they're making
Yeah,
it big. Like
yeah.
I hear their new song on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
So like flex.
Mhm.
Okay, that's fun.
And unfortunately, it's no longer findable. Like, I think because it was their older stuff,
Yeah.
they took it down, and I can't find it anywhere, which is really sad.
I love their old music, and so I was trying to find it, and yeah, nowhere.
Sad.
Nowhere.
They just,
But
like,
we do
deleted
have a
that
CD.
part of their career.
They
did,
probably
yeah.
like signed with the record, and are like,
Oh.
what's wrong with it?
Pretty Girls.
Oh, that was
a good
that
one.
was
That was a
my
good one. Kayla, go ahead and share with us.
I'm trying to pick between 2 fun facts that are very different.
She's just so fun.
Well, no, so there's the one that I feel like we already talked about, sort of, which is my hands and the fact that they turn, like, I have Neapolitan hands. So sometimes they're, like, you know, purple or gray, sometimes they're completely white or bright red, but they just like to, like, change colors. But my other one was,
Like a chameleon.
Yeah, like I have chameleon hands, which, like, sounds a lot cooler than it really is. But that's kind of my party trick. But my other fun fact was, like, that I moved 8 times as a kid. Like,
That is a really good
that, in Two Truths and a Lie, that was always my go-to. Is like, well, I moved 8 times, or I'd like switch the number, or I'd be like, I was in 4 different schools my 2nd grade year, and people would be like, no way, way.
She did it. She did it.
I sure was. Anyway, those are fun.
Yeah.
Our next icebreaker is, what is your hidden talent? I can open. I would say my hidden talent that I forget about all the time but there's just like random impressions that I can do really well. Part of the not fun part of it is nobody knows the impressions that I'm doing. I'll be like, have you seen Barnyard? Literally not a soul has seen any of the impressions that I do. So then when I do or like the Vivienne one with the ring, oh my gosh.
yeah, that's a good one.
But no one ever sees the impressions that I do. And so I'm like, you don't even know how much I should be blowing
and
you
that's
away
why
right
it's
now.
really a hidden talent.
Yeah, it really is.
secret.
And then I have to like literally like pull up the YouTube video of the clip I'm trying to impersonate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there's
Yeah.
my hidden
Can you show
talent.
us?
Which one?
Barnyard. I like
The
that
Barnyard
one.
one.
Yes.
Oh,
So much pressure.
yes. Okay. How does it even start? Let's see. Oh, the wife is like, Randall, there is a cow outside. It's a cow farm. You're gonna have cows outside.
And I love the face you make every time.
Yes.
It's always
Because I
the
have to become Randall.
Yes,
You know.
to really channel his
Yes.
energy.
For sure.
Okay, I'll go next. I don't know if I would consider this a hidden talent, but it kind of is. So, I mean, I am very girly girl, and I definitely give off that girly girl vibe.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's just what people expect from me. But I recently did a Spartan race with my brother, and if you don't know what Spartan is, just look it up. It's quite intense, and so
Yeah.
I
It's not
definitely
like
have
a field race.
a stronger, more athletic side than people would like assume of me.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be so unexpected. Like, wait, this girl did a Spartan race? Like,
Get
that's
ready
wild.
with me as I get ready for my Spartan race.
And I do the most girly girl thing right there. No one's gonna believe me.
That's so funny.
She did it. She
Thank
did the
you.
Spartan race.
Thank you. Okay, Taylor, you're up next.
All right, my hidden talent isn't something that I generally share because people might be really weirded out by it. But my hidden talent is that I can change my outfit anywhere that I need to, whether that be post cross country race, driving down the road, you know, and anywhere in between. I really just have perfected that talent.
Yes.
By being able to change without flashing anyone, giving them people more than they want to see. There has been close calls, especially when you're driving and all of a sudden the lights red and then a car pulls up next to you.
Yes.
But we've been good so far, and I'm just gonna keep on.
Yeah,
the
that's-
streak stays alive.
I feel like you oftentimes run into situations where you're running straight from work or straight from your internship or straight from school where like you have so much going on, you don't have time to just like go into a bathroom and change.
Yeah.
And
And
so
when I
you
say
really
changing my
run-
outfit,
yeah.
I don't just mean like just the shirt. Like
Every
full
aspect.
shirt, everything. Well,
Everything.
maybe
Which
not
is
almost
so-
all, maybe just everything.
That's so useful because I like do not have that skill at all.
No, me
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Elena!
All
I'm so
right.
excited for this.
My heart is like, beating really fast.
This is like your biggest moment right
This
now.
is my debut. So, my hidden talent is that I wrote a hit song.
Maybe I can be in your next music video.
Oh my gosh.
She can dance for it.
I don't have I haven't even had
You're
a
right,
first
the
music
first
video,
music.
but yes. Alright, so the song is called Cigarettes. Should I give the backstory?
Give us the backstory.
Maybe because otherwise it's a little concerning.
Yes, okay. There also is a full version that Kayla and I actually wrote
Yeah.
Yes.
together, but
Kayla's
I
featured in it.
I don't
yeah.
know the words to it, so
It hasn't been released yet.
yeah, we'll have to practice that one a little bit later. But
We're working with record labels, so
yes,
you know,
yeah,
Yeah.
we can't really
yes,
put it out
Yes.
yet.
yeah. Last year we did a garage sale, and Taylor had donated this little like bedside table thing because she wanted it for her room, but she opened it up and it smelled like cigarettes. And so she's like, "Yeah, it smells like cigarettes." And a few seconds later, I just go, "Cigarettes," and so the song was born.
Yeah.
So
To raise awareness.
yes, for
Yes, it's not promoting cigarettes.
No,
by any
yes,
means.
of course
not.
No,
It's
that's
not
okay.
Yeah.
yeah. It is raising awareness for secondhand smoke.
Yes.
And there's even some hand motions
Yes.
and dance moves. Like
Yes, which I actually was what's the word I'm looking for? Not a witness. I was a person that was hit by secondhand smoke the other day, and I was
You were a
rewriting-
victim.
A victim. I was like, what is the word that I'm looking for? I was a victim of secondhand smoke.
Yes.
Right in front of the grocery store, and in my head I was singing it, and I was like, I wish more people knew, and like I wish we could spread awareness
Yeah.
here.
I'm
So-
still waiting for ND Quit to come
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
sponsor or to have me be on their
Maybe this will
commercial. But
get
yeah,
to that.
this is gonna be
Yeah,
like,
go ahead and grace us with it.
all right.
It's the
stop laughing so she can perform.
All right. Cigarette. Oh boy.
Oh, I don't think she can do it.
She's just so
I don't think she can do it.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
Cigarette. Cigarette. Secondhand smoke.
I've never heard it performed better than that right there.
What did you find right there?
Oh my gosh, Elena, I remember, you know your other hidden talent is poetry. Do you remember when we wrote a poem together?
Oh my goodness. Some are energized by bunnies,
Others are energized by sunnies.
but we are energized by buddies.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna spend some time talking now about how we all became friends, but we'll start with them first.
Alright, so Elena and I are actually sisters. So our
You couldn't
friendship,
tell already.
Yes. A lot of friendship ends, we're not.
No, literally
we're not.
my iPhone album thing, like you two will be in the same album. I'll be like, what's Elena doing in Taylor's?
Not the same person. No, we're actually not twins, as she said, we're sisters. And our friendship began on January 6th, 2006. The day that she was born.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I don't remember that day. I do remember a lot of things from when she was little. But we've had a lot of fun memories together over the past 18 years.
Yes. Many.
Mm-hmm.
Like sharing a room for 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
We started out
bonding for sure.
Yes, for sure. Like we were best friends, and so we played everything. Played house, Legos, Barbies, little people. You know, all the fun things. Just growing up, and we would fight sometimes. While we weren't siblings who necessarily were physical fighters, we were most definitely verbal fighters.
There was definitely the times though that we would have a physical fight,
Yes.
and you know somebody would hit somebody a little too hard, and then the other one would burst into tears, and you can hit me back, you can hit me back, don't tell mom, don't tell mom.
Yes, all those things. But especially as we got older and did end up sharing a room for almost 10 years, we did get very close. And in high school, we were able to do some sports and things together and had a lot of similar shared experiences, and we've just become best friends.
Yes.
Sometimes we do still fight, as our friend Mike says, we fight like a married couple.
I don't think we do though.
I think it's gotten better.
I think you guys bicker
But
like a
do.
married couple does.
do.
Oh, from your perspective, we would like to hear how you became friends with us.
Well, that's a really good question because I don't know how we became friends.
We don't either, so that's why we
There's
need
no
to
way.
know.
Basically, it was at some point during my 8th grade year. They were both a year older than me, and in high school. And at the church we went to, middle school and high school was split up, and so we don't know when we would have spent time together to become friends. But there was a photo shoot that we all did together
Yeah.
when Lauren, I think you first had got like a new camera or something, was starting to get
It's
into
more when she was
photography.
starting.
Yes, very early on in my career.
That over the summer right before my freshman year, we did a fun little photo shoot together. And so we had to have been close enough friends to want to do this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
don't
you and I
know
did
anything.
anything. So like,
I know. Like I don't know. There, we
So
have
you must
no
have been
memory
close.
of anything else before that.
No, I feel like that's the funny thing about friendships is a lot of the friends we've had for so long, I don't at all remember how we became friends. So it's like I don't know how to make friends now because I don't know how I made friends then.
How
We
did we do it?
we
you
just
know?
were.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's good, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I think we became extra close when I did get into high school then, going through all sorts of different life
Yeah.
experiences together.
And we were in like small groups together, and yeah.
Many more photo shoots.
Many more, and they have improved.
Yes, they have.
They have,
Slowly
yeah.
but surely, especially from the beginning.
And also, we've also improved as like the models.
Yes,
Because
for
at
sure.
the beginning we didn't know what to do, but now I feel like we're just experts.
I would just say slightly less awkward. I don't know. I wouldn't label myself an expert,
I would.
but
Yes.
getting better.
Okay, so I feel like we usually always say that. I mean, this is when we first became, when I joined the friend group was when we went to South Carolina, but I was just reminiscing. I realized that I had done some things with them before, like this one like fall youth retreat that we went to at this Bible camp. I was actually their photographer for some of their photo shoots.
miss them.
So,
And that photo shoot is actually worse than the original one we did.
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yes, because I remember
Yes.
you were sophomores and we were playing a game and you like on the floor in the lodge and you just started crying because you're like, I'm gonna be a senior soon. And I was just sitting there like, I'm in 6th grade.
I don't remember that at all, but like it certainly adds up.
Yeah.
I was just crying about something dumb. As a sophomore?
There was also-
I know I would celebrate being a senior and be like, I am out of here. Wait, how do you remember all this stuff?
This is
I don't remember any of this.
One really interesting thing about Elena is she does have a good memory, but for some reason she really latches onto some of the most random parts of a memory. Like she'll remember things that I'm like, I don't know why you remember that, but I don't remember it.
Like the time Taylor told me I was gonna die because I had a sunburn on my legs.
Things like that. But it's like I don't remember saying that.
That might have
So
traumatized
while she
you.
might be making it up, I have nothing to back it up, so I just have to
Yeah.
believe what she said. For some reason, I must be telling you to do a lot of bad things. Because
Yeah.
there's also the time when we were both in high school. You might not have been in high school. But we were in Colorado and there was a cactus and you're like,
Oh, I was
touch
not
it.
in high school.
And I was like, do it. And she
Taylor.
finds the
I
cactus.
feel like that's such a like
That's such an
older
older
sibling,
sister.
younger
Yes.
sibling things to like be such a like not initiator, instigator.
Yes.
With all these
Yes.
things. And then the youngest child's just like, okay.
So yes, but there was another time that I remember being with these three that I don't know if you guys necessarily remember, but it was another youth conference that we went on with our church. And we were in Walmart. I was very sick. Like I had this awful cold and a terrible fever and I just was pushing through. Like I didn't tell anybody that I was sick. And I didn't have any medicine, so yeah, I was just miserable. But
in
we were-
Walmart, I was pushing you. She was in a cart.
I was sitting in the cart in Walmart, and we went back to like the kind of by like the tire section, like the car
I feel like
section.
I might know where this is
And-
going.
And this was around the time that Old Town Road came
Yep.
out. And so Kayla, this was like one of my first experiences with them, other than when we played that game. And like I knew who they were because of church
Yes.
and stuff, but this was like, I'm seeing who you guys are.
Well, that was who I was to my core, for sure.
Kayla had like a cowboy hat on back in the car section of Walmart, and somebody was playing it on their phone, the song Old Town Road, and she was like dancing to it.
Okay,
or
did I
singing
not
or
have like a
something.
did I
Mine
have
had
like
a horse.
stick?
She had a
Oh,
horse.
horse stick and a
Stickers as
cow.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she stopped in
I
the
forgot
toy
about
department
that.
first.
Yes.
No, I don't stand by that.
To kind of sum some of that up from us, like I said, I don't really remember when you entered. It just all of a sudden you were just a core part of our group, and it just kind of felt like you'd been there all along. And then of course we knew about Elena,
But
and we knew she was kind of around.
Younger sister.
But yeah,
Yeah.
she was always just like, oh, Taylor's little sister. Until
And-
one day, she just
she became one of
she
us.
became one of us. She blossomed.
I was gonna say because you like mentioned South Carolina, but then you didn't say anything more.
Oh, yeah,
so you
let's
should
loop
tell
back
us
to that.
more.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Because that's like okay. This is gonna sound weird. South Carolina is where I fell in love with Elena. It is where
No, that's
I
so
was
true,
like,
though.
no, I literally just watched her as this just fun to be around, like hilarious, just like carefree girl, and I was like, I
feel like I'm
love
gonna
this
cry.
girl. I was like, no, I literally, it hit me. I was like, I love this girl with my whole heart, and I was like, I want her to be like a part of us, and that's when like
It was, yeah, it was like your
Yeah.
first high school trip
Yeah.
that you went on.
Yeah.
First time being on a plane since you were
Yes.
a
6
baby.
weeks old.
Yes. Yes.
7 weeks old, I guess.
yeah, I just feel like it was such a like charming, sweet time. You know what else too though is because like you and I, we didn't know each other super well, but we kind of got like put in a separate group from like everybody
Yes.
we knew.
Yeah.
And so I remember it being like, oh my gosh, all my friends are together in a different group. And I know I'm the leader and need to like whatever, but I was just so bummed that I was gonna miss out on all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the unlikely group that we got put together with actually ended up being so
Most
fun.
of us.
And I feel and I feel like that's where like I also got to know you better because you weren't around everybody else. So it was
Yeah.
like more in like a smaller setting.
Yeah.
So I just feel like then, ever since that trip, here and there, and as you've gotten older, more and more you've just been incorporated more into the group?
But because it's like our friend group, like it started out as like just Laura and I, and then Taylor, and then like it's just like slowly started to grow. So now we have like a pretty solid crew of like 7 or so people. That's like a part of our friend group, and then like Elena's just like the little kid of the group, but like
Maybe
you're
you should
obviously an
describe-
adult now. But I just think
Yeah.
it's so funny that it's like we have we have people that have like full on careers, and then we have like Elena just graduated high
I'll be
school.
in college, yeah.
Maybe we should talk about the analogy that you guys have for this relationship.
Oh, okay.
She was trying to avoid that because she knows it's not
Yeah,
nice.
no. So,
It's okay, honey.
Kayla and I, you know, we are the founders of this friend group.
We're the founding fathers.
That's how
We are the founding fathers. We are not a cult. And we kind of
The
just
OGs.
joke that like Taylor. I can't even say it, guys.
Okay, I'd like to note that I never said this. This is not mine.
It was just her like little stray pet that came along and just took her in.
It's like we just adopted her into our family.
You know, and then then Elena was like our other. It was hard to get out.
I feel like then Lauren always is like, and Elena's just like our daughter. And then
We
we
adopted
Taylor's
it. I'm
just
like, oh, I'm just a
like,
pet.
I'm just some stray dog that
but
wound
like,
up on your
mommy
door
and
one
daddy
day.
love you regardless.
Wow.
It's like Lady and the Tramp when they have the baby and then they just forget about the dog. Like, sorry.
Those are her words, not ours.
I guess to go eat some spaghetti.
So we thought we would talk about just some of our kind of core moments and memories together.
Yeah, we've got a lot of them. It's hard to remember all the like little ones throughout the year,
Yeah.
or like
and,
throughout the years.
and some we would like to share, but we just we can't
some,
do it.
some we like actually can't. But I feel like a core like memory trip for us was our Honduras trips, and so we're kind of gonna talk about those. So the first one Elena was on, but then she cried hearing about it and decided to go on the next
Yes.
one.
And then she
So-
cried a lot there too.
Yes.
So it's really full
Not as much
circle.
as Taylor.
Lots of tears were shed.
Nobody
but
can cry.
No,
as much as
nobody
Taylor.
can.
Not in Honduras, no.
Honduras has my heart.
Well, it has mine too, but.
Whoa, it's not a competition. So let's talk about the first trip first, because that was like the first time any of us had gone, and kind of the first time like our group had gone to Honduras. And it was definitely like the best and worst time of your life, because it was such a like shock to see, and there were a lot of really like hard or painful things, and also like it's just the most like physically exhausted you've ever been, and you're like so out of your comfort zone, and like it's just a lot of like taxing things, but at the same time it's like I've never bonded with a random group of people faster. And like when we had gone the first time, it was a large group. What were there, like 20 some people?
Yeah.
And like we were the
youngest.
Like we were the kind of the kids of that group,
Yeah.
if you will, and like everyone else was like full adults, and like we knew of them, but we didn't really closely know any of those
Yeah.
adults. And so it was so interesting, like creating friendships with all these like full-grown
Which
adults.
we were like, how old were we? We were like 20 at the time.
Yeah.
We weren't like children, but there were people who were like in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
There were some like retired, you know.
Yeah.
There's a vast age.
Yeah, that was super. One of my favorite parts of, or like things about that trip was the idea that we had come up with. And I was like,
Yes.
okay, you know
Oh
the
my
Friends theme
gosh.
song? I was like, we must do a video
Yes.
of everyone here, like an
Uh-huh.
intro video, like introducing everybody with like funny video clips or funny pictures. And it ended up turning out far better than I ever could imagine.
No, like it was incredible. And at the end of the trip, we were like, we need to show this before we go home. And so we were like, can we somehow, there was a TV in like
Yeah.
the main room.
Yeah.
And one of the staff there, like he couldn't even really speak that much English at the time.
And we
he
didn't
was
have
like,
any translators.
no,
but-
so
did
we were, well, I think we might have had Frankie,
Maybe.
but so he was trying to get it on the screen for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He was trying, and we're like, no, it's really okay. Like you don't
He
have
was
to.
So, like, he
Like,
wanted to
he
so
was
badly.
determined, and then we finished it because it's short. It's like a minute and a half, and he just looks over and goes, again.
It was like
Yeah.
to this day one of my favorite things, and I was so glad that we got to like show it there too.
Yeah.
Like while we
My
were
least
there.
favorite part though of the video creation was like the night before we were gonna show it to everyone. That night we were going to bed, and I'm just trying to fall asleep, and there's just the same part of the theme song being played over and over and over.
Well, I
Yes,
was
when
editing.
you're around
Editing
when
the
Lauren's
video.
editing anything, it certainly gets repetitive. But
I really do appreciate
Does
it.
she
annoy you?
Yes.
Like, I just feel
Yeah, but to be honest, I kind of start to just like tune it out. Like I'm
I
looking
do
at it from just the technical side, where I'm not really, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another part of that trip. Did I just lose it? No. Yeah. Another like defining part of that trip was like the three of us were staying in a room, and the doors lock. You have a key. The amount of times we got locked out of our room.
We were just notorious for this, and it was like the one person who we would have to go to when it happened. Like by the end of it, she just knew, because I would just give her this look like she just knew.
Yeah, which I feel like did not help. Like people were like, these kids are so irresponsible. But like, so basically, I was responsible for carrying the key. I never wanted to be the one responsible for carrying the key, but somebody's got to, and it just happened to be me. So the first time we locked ourselves out, it was like a miscommunication of like, it was like left on the bed. I was like showering, I didn't know, like I assumed that they grabbed it when they went out, like just miscommunication. It wasn't really anybody's fault specifically, but like emotions were high, we were mentally and physically tired, and so it just felt like such a high tension, like fingers pointing. It like almost broke us. And then also because it was at night, then the person who like can get us unlocked like wasn't there, and we're like, are we quite literally locked out of our room for the night? Like we don't have anywhere to, I hadn't showered yet because I remember feeling gross. And I was like, I desperately just need to shower. And
Maybe
so
I was the one showering.
So that's why I didn't go with you guys when you had gone to the store after, because I was like, I'm done for the day. I could not have been less, like people like, I just laid face down on the bench and everyone was like, is she good? And they're
like, just keep going.
They're like,
Talk
not
to her.
really, but like she doesn't want to be asked about it right now. So then finally like the lady did come, but she literally had to like come from our house to get us the key. And so like bless her soul for that. And then I was like, guys, I'm not going to be responsible for carrying the key anymore. Like, I don't want that responsibility. I don't remember whatever happened with it, but somehow we did get locked out a second time.
Yeah, this time you and I had gotten back from our site early, and we were like showered up. We were actually making that Friends video that we talked about, and we wanted to like grab water or something. And so we like ran out of our room, and we came back, and the door would not open. We're like, and I just remember like Taylor was walking back in, and my mom was there, and my mom knew like that Taylor was gonna be so ticked.
Your mom like stopped me first, and I was like, what did they do? I was like, are you kidding me? Because I was at a different site that day, and we had gotten like dirty. We were working hard, building a house. And I was like, all I want to do is come back and have a shower. It did take a while until I got one of those.
Yeah.
And then the third time we didn't technically get locked out, but sort of, because somehow our key had gotten left on the table in like the group area where we ate. Once again, I don't know how we lost it this many times in 1 week. But then somebody else in our group had seen it, so they grabbed it. So then they had this whole plan of like, okay, get somebody to video this, and they locked our door, and then we're like, just watched us walk over there and feel the handle and be like, no. And by that point, it had happened so many times.
At that point, I didn't even get involved. I just watched the two of them
We were like so close,
annihilate.
like,
We literally were like, I did not. That was you. Yes, you did. I was like,
and
I
then-
swear,
and
it
then-
wasn't me.
Yes, in the back of this video, you see one of the people on our trip walking to our door and sticking the key in, and I like out of the corner of my eyes see this happening, and I'm just like, and I just yell at her, like yell her name, just like, are you kidding me?
It was funny, but it was also so frustrating. I'm like, we cannot keep doing this.
Yeah.
So the second time we went, I don't think I got locked out at all.
No, because we gave Lauren's mom the key.
She had
that's
the
right.
key. We had someone more
And-
responsible
yes,
with us.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and then I think the other part of that trip was just how emotionally bonded we got on that,
gosh,
because
yeah.
the emotions were truly just so high.
Yeah.
Like by the end of the trip, we were saying goodbye to the families that we built the houses for. We were saying goodbye to our translators.
it was
We were
so
saying
hard.
goodbye to all the staff there, and we were just like sobbing for like 2 days.
Yeah.
But the best part about it is, once we got to the airport, we actually sat in the airport for probably 8 hours, and all the people we had a heartbreaking goodbye to, well, not all of them, but quite a few of them, had to actually come back and get us.
But yeah, no, we literally got stuck there and then had to come back through customs, sit there for forever, go back to a random hotel that night in the middle of the night. And it was like, the whole thing in itself was like so frustrating, so exhausting. But at the same time, like, that was like some of our best memories, and I
It's
really
also-
wouldn't trade it for the world.
It's
Yeah.
also the best pizza Kayla has ever eaten off of an airport floor.
no,
Not actually off the floor itself.
no, I actually
but-
dipped it in the dust because we were like, ooh, Skittles. No.
They brought us pizza after we had sat in the airport for probably like 8 hours that day, and we just had the pizza boxes sitting
Yeah.
on the floor, and so she was
No,
sitting on the floor eating the pizza.
I don't really like veggie pizzas, supreme pizzas. I don't like olives or like mushrooms or any of that stuff on my pizza. I literally just sat there and was like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. Like it just like it hit the spot the way nothing else could ever match.
Yeah. But yeah, then we went back with Elena, and that was just
Yes.
fun to get to experience like her first time there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one we went with like a smaller group, and it was just like us like leaders and then some of our high schoolers, and it was like I feel like the first trip was sweet in its own way, but this one was so cool because it's like we were so close as a group, and it was like
Yeah.
such a smaller group that you really could like you were all at one house, you were
Yeah.
all at one place the whole
Yes.
time, not split
We're
up.
all like
And
experiencing
so
the
also
same thing together.
We bonded so much more
Yeah.
because we were like always together.
But yeah, no, Elena and I did get locked in her room
did.
one time.
Yes.
Only happened once, but
It was
it
like
was a miscommunication.
yeah.
But yeah, no, Elena and I on that trip, we really just bonded because we were roommates along with another girl, and we just had so many just crazy moments in that
Yes.
room. You know,
Yes.
Every night.
Every
was
night.
so
It
it started
wild
out with
in
you
there.
guys having to change rooms,
did
never
have to
having
change
water.
rooms.
Yes.
Never.
We got there our first night, and the place that we stay at has air conditioning, but our air conditioning did not work, and so it was very humid and just really gross in there. And then we were keeping the door open to let some air come in, and so in doing that, a lot of bugs were coming in.
Icky
So,
bugs.
Yeah, different
so
things.
yeah, we were all just like waiting around. There were people like trying to fix our air conditioning, and it just didn't work. So we had to go to a different room, and they took apart our beds.
He was like watching like HGTV, like the house.
It was
reno.
so weird.
Yeah.
They took apart our beds and brought them into the other room and just built them right in there.
My favorite part of the because Lauren videoed all of it. My favorite part is the one guy walking past carrying the
Yes.
roll of toilet paper on his little stand. That he
Like they're all like carrying like beds and mattresses.
like you see a
like,
mattress come out of the room, and then all of a sudden it's just a little toilet paper roll.
Yeah, no, you guys certainly had a lot of interesting story times.
Yes.
It was like we had a lovely time with our room, but we at the same time like I definitely had FOMO for your room because it sounded like quite a time.
Oh, it was a blast.
There was
It
one time that Mike like came and pounded on our door. It was like, you guys need to be quiet.
Yeah, you guys are a bit
No,
of
we had volume in there for sure.
But yeah, it was like during the day you're working so hard that you just get so tired out. But for some reason at night,
Just get that
we're
little
laying
boost.
in bed, and all of a sudden, we just all have energy, like a crazy amount of energy, and we're just. I don't even know what we were doing, but we were crazy.
Yeah.
As we were talking about earlier, how sometimes Elaine and I fight as a married couple. On this trip, we were really good, working really good together. Until
don't
it
know
came
where this is
time
going.
for us to help put up the walls. I was helping. I had the drill because I guess I'm a good driller, you know.
You can just drill those screws.
Yes, real good. So I'm standing up on this ladder with Elena holding it, and were you? Someone else
I was
holding
putting
the ladder.
no, it was me. I was putting my entire
me.
Because
entire
the ground
body
I
weight
was
into
on,
that
the ground I
ladder.
was on is not stable flat ground. This ladder's like on an angle. I'm like reaching inside the house, trying to use this drill and push with my body weight to get
And-
these screws into the boards.
At the same time, Lauren's on the inside of the house, like, smile, Taylor!
And I'm like, Lauren, I don't think you understand. I'm literally holding on for my dear life right now. As there's like screws
Yeah.
and nails in the roof right here. My head is here, right here. But we got part of it done. I came down off the ladder and we're moving the ladder. And for some reason, I decided to leave the drill on the top of it. I don't know why. I just forgot it was there. We're literally moving the ladder. And all of a sudden, something hits me in the head. And not just like the flat part of the drill. No, the little like
The bit.
the bit of the drill, the little pointy part, literally hit my head. And I lost my mind.
She was like yelling at me, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that was my fault. And then people are like coming up and like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I think I'm fine. And she just had like a tiny little blood.
Yeah, I think a little cut on my head. I was
Yeah.
okay. We got it cleaned up. But
Yeah.
yeah, while Elena didn't cause it, for some reason I really thought that she did something because I didn't realize right away what had hit me. I was like, what just
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, that definitely was my fault. But I definitely.
I mean, but it was also my fault in not being like,
You're like,
hey,
"Okay,
there's a
ladder."
grill up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't think
Yeah.
about it either.
Yeah. Yeah, that we've had our bathroom episode, which we've shared some of their stories on that. Again,
Yes.
that was a huge bonding.
I
experience.
even commented on it. So if you'd like to read my
Oh, amazing! Thank you
there
for
was
sharing.
there is one of mine that happens. I don't think you shared about it, but our room, it was off limits to use the toilet in there for number 2, unless it was absolutely necessary. And
Okay,
so
but the thing is with that, there was ladies who cleaned our rooms every single day, and we were gone for the entire day. So they would come in the mornings and clean it out. So it would have been fine if you, because by the end,
Here's the
by
thing.
the end of the trip, we
I
were
was
using
not
our
risking
room.
No, I've never
we
done
did not, yeah,
that.
but we didn't want to just because for our personal I don't know what the word is, but we just for
Yes.
our own sake and then for also the people in the rooms. There's not a lot of good soundproof in the door there, and
Oh
you
my
can
gosh.
hear
Oh,
the
well,
noises.
yes, I understand that,
And
yeah.
so while it wasn't like the messiness necessarily that was what was off-putting, it was the smell, the sounds, all of those things. Well, we had to throw the toilet paper in the garbage
Yes.
can, okay?
Yeah.
I know, that's
But
funny.
there was one morning where I got up, was getting ready, and I was like, oh, I'm starting to feel it. So I walked over to the bathrooms on the other side, like the public bathrooms. It was okay. Finished all my business, was walking back to our room, and it's not a far walk, like just a few steps, and I'm walking and I'm like, oh no, oh no, and I just start running to our room, and I'm like, I'm so sorry guys, I need to. I spent probably 20 minutes in that little tiny bathroom that has no airflow.
No, it's so hot in
No
there.
airflow. The second I closed the door, I was like, I'm fighting for my life right now. I was just like dripping in sweat. Just
I remember like checking on
dying.
you, like,
And this was like at breakfast time, so everyone's like sitting there eating breakfast, and I'm just in our room having a time. I was just like, I think I might have hit my lowest right there. That was probably the lowest for me on that trip.
All right, so we've had a lot of like really good like moments and memories on all these like trips that we go on together. It's one of my favorite things. It's like you just remember them so well. But we also like have such a good just like casual friendship, if you will, like at home where we do a lot of like dinners or game nights or movie nights and just a lot of like hangouts.
Yeah, like we go rollerblading, skiing.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot about rollerblading.
Oh,
We
yeah.
like the 4 of us will go rollerblading together on like this cute trail that we go on. You haven't come skiing with us yet, have you?
No. We
But
were going to, and there was no
Well,
snow.
I was gonna say I will this
Um,
winter, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But yes, we just like I feel like we've just done so many like wholesome like as you're like in the moment and it's just a casual like game night at your house. It's just like it feels I'm like this is what we're gonna remember and like talk about when we get old
Yeah.
and like just like wish for again. So it's just really like sweet moments at home as well. And I treasure those.
Yes, we were playing What Do You Meme. It was actually the first time that the 4 of us had hung out, and my boyfriend came over. It was the first time they.
That was such an out of
I
pocket
think-
night for him to
It
just, like,
really
enter
was.
into
Yeah,
the
it
room.
was. There was many moments where there was just like tears
Oh,
streaming
wait,
down.
can I say something else?
Yes.
Another pivotal point for Taylor and I was when I did stalk, like, the beginning portion of her first date with her
Yes,
boyfriend.
she drove to my house, which I live fairly
Me
far
and one of
out
our
of
other
town.
friends, we drove out there and we just, like, watched them.
I just couldn't support it. No, they literally like followed them all the way to the date. Like they
we were
stalked
in
them.
sunglasses. We
I
had, like,
also-
sunglasses and hats on.
I thought you guys had gone into the date.
No,
Cool.
we never. We did
Me
not
too.
go in.
And I was like, I was like, if you guys ever do that, I'm cutting you off. Like I was like, that is
No, let me
not
make that
okay.
clear. We did not actually enter.
No.
Let's
the
actually.
restaurant.
So
okay,
basically,
so-
they came to my house, parked down the street, and then drove in their car behind our car, and filmed the whole thing. But as we were driving, I was telling that you had been joking about following us, and he just like casually joked. He's like, "Oh, maybe it's the people in the car behind us with the sunglasses on," and I didn't look back to check.
Yeah, it was.
It in fact was them.
Yep.
I hadn't realized that they had, like, he didn't realize that they pulled out, like, right behind us. But they'd been following us for a while. And then we pulled down the street to the restaurant that we were going to eat at. And all of a sudden, this car passes us. And it's the same car that Lauren has. And I look, and it has her stickers on the back. And I was like, he, like, opens up my door, and I'm just sitting there, like, just shocked. And he's like, what? I was like, that's Lauren. So-
Anyway, it works out though, and now I have a fun
No,
story
it
to
did
tell,
work out.
so-
She just knows that she couldn't do it with like
Oh, and I know
Yeah.
that I would never do it
Yeah.
to you guys, but I knew that Taylor
Well, okay,
had
so
at
what-
least some point of fun.
Yes. What you did though, following them in the car, that is fine. But I totally thought you went in and were spying
Oh
on
no,
them on the date.
I
I was
wouldn't
like,
do that.
no.
No, I have boundaries.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yes.
The game night.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, we invited him over to just play games.
Yeah, no, that whole night was so out of pocket. I feel like that's
So
often how
there
our
was
vibe-
like
Okay, did we read the book that night?
Yes.
We did read the book.
So I have a book that's like it's literally a children's book. Like it's advertised as a children's book, but I would never read that to a child.
No.
But it's literally like it's titled First Comes Love. Like it's a book about like a bunch of like animals and bugs and like First Comes Love.
Yes.
It is such an out of pocket choice.
It's
Can I be
wild.
honest? I'd recommend it. I think it's on Amazon.
It is.
First Comes Love. It's a big yellow book. You should check it out.
It's a great gift
But yes,
for
it's a
unexpected
bit of an
mother.
odd book to read the very first night that your
Yeah.
friend's boyfriend comes over for game
Yeah,
night.
Yes.
but we read it.
And we said, all right, guys, sit down. We're passing it around.
And we even made him read some pages.
Yes. So we did read that book. We there was a wine glass that got broken.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
also times where I was just laying completely on, like, with my face basically in the carpet, laying flat out on my stomach, just shaking in laughter.
Yeah.
There was tears.
When Taylor laughs,
all
her whole
sorts of
body
things.
laughs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And apparently that night did not scare him away because he stuck around this long.
And we love him
so,
for it.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, I feel like that's the best recap we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's very all over the place, but that's to
Kind
be
of who we are.
So
We are a
Yes.
little,
Since Kayla and I can't outro a podcast to save our life, we're just gonna let them do it.
All right. So this is going to be their last episode for a while, unless they have another exciting guest or guests that they want to bring on, or a new
Yes.
exciting announcement. But they'll see you next time.
Farewell.
Amazing. All right. Bye.